Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 3 versus 3 on Omaha, and yes, this is a new map. There has been an update recently that introduced two new divisions and the new map. So we're still in beta, but there's new content, and I am going to be showing you most of it in the next few videos. So in this one, I'm going to be using the new 17th SS-Panzergrenadier division alongside Val and Betts. And on the opposing team, we actually have 2 players playing the new 2nd Infantry division, which is the US Indian Head division. So this is Omaha Beach, of course, and as you can see, this is sort of based after the main landings, so not the initial landings. But after the main landings where they dropped off all of the tanks and extra equipment and so on, so you can see all of the ships and that lot back there. On the large scale 4v4 map, you actually play crossways across this map, which is really awesome because it actually gives you access to the beach on the left side, which is very cool. But either way, this time round we are playing from inland with myself, Val and Betts. So let's set this to my point of view, and we can start talking through some of the new units and some of the stuff we're going to see in this gameplay, basically. So first of all, we have these new SPW221s. These are basically the 222s, but instead they have the AT guns on top. They're just some small AT guns. They do have 8 AP power though, which is definitely strong enough to take out a lot of Phase A armor and light vehicles. So they're great APC killers for sure. Then we have the Stug 3 F8 version, which is a 2-star vetted Stug. Definitely going to do a lot of damage with 14 AP power. 8 armor's not necessarily anything special. If you bumped into a Firefly, for example, then you would definitely be in trouble. Although there's not going to be any Fireflies because we're playing against allies, which does sound silly, but I believe the SS Panzer division is the only division that actually gets a Firefly so far. There will obviously be the Canadian armored division added to the game, which will definitely have Fireflies, I would assume. Anyway, the Stug can basically be shot at by most of the Shermans in Phase A anyway. They do have 10 AP, so it's sort of a bit even. The Stug definitely provides a lot of fire support early on. Now you can also see that they have updated a lot of the icons on the right side of the unit cards. So you've got recon ones there look a bit different. We've got the MG ones look a bit different, and of course the AT ones look very different. So I'm guessing they're doing that more for clarity. And then in the top left, you can see on these Schwims, they're actually amphibious. They have this amphibious icon. They've added amphibious units to the game, which is very interesting. Be good to see them used on actual maps with water. I don't believe there are any like maps with water just yet, other than Colombelle, which does have a big river down the side of it, but not really any use for amphibious cars just yet. We'll have to wait and see if they come into use later on. Either way, over on this left side, we can have a look at more of the new units. We have the Stug again here, the BEO PZ 251. This is a artillery off-map artillery half-track. Quite nice there. You can see it does have the rangefinder in the front of it, which is very cool. And we do have our AT guns and so on. It looks like Betts is going to be engaging in the center. Does manage to blow up a Jeep there straight away with one of his 221s. 221s are going to get hit quite hard though by the enemy AT, and that's going to pin down both of his recon squads, and the 221 here is going to suffer from accuracy problems. The 221 there does get destroyed as well by this enemy AT gun, and well, there goes the Stug as well. But Betts not having a fantastic time in the middle just yet. His Pack 40 now getting into position to try and take down the enemy infantry and AT guns. MG42 is going to be opening up onto the enemy rifles, which is pinning them down. Over on this right side, I haven't really come across any contesting just yet, although I have spotted this M4A1 on the far right. So what I'm going to do is try and sneak forwards my Stug 3. I'm going to have the Stug 3 try and take care or draw the fire of the M4A1. Then what I'm going to do is rush forwards with all of these 221s with the AT guns and try and take out this M4A1. As you can see, drawn the fire with the Stug 3, going to move into range with the 221s. But just as they get into range, well, the Stug actually does the job itself and takes out the M4A1. So, good kill for me on the right there, pretty early on. Although these 221s now wondering what they need to do because they don't have a machine gun or any capability against infantry. So, yeah, going to have to move away from that right side for now, which is most definitely covered in infantry. In the centre, Betz is going to be forced back by the RGR support squad. They're going to be running down his Panzergrenadier. Still has the AT gun on the road, which is good. That's going to be able to cover off against any reinforcements, really. Going to force them to reinforce further back. Let's have these couple units of recon though, which is great. Allows him to bring in more units of infantry, knowing exactly where the enemy are. And now he's going to be occupying these few buildings. Stop them from pushing too far in the centre. Over on the right side, I'm suffering a bit on this side. We are currently at a +1 with 51% territory. This is a bit of an issue. I really need to sort this out on the right side because it's kind of letting the team down there. But this Pank 38, that's now starting to open up onto the enemy vehicles here. So you can see this is actually an M8 Greyhound firing at my APC, or my AT gun, sorry. My AT gun actually managed to take out the Greyhound and then swiftly after actually managed to take out the half-track as well. So a lovely couple of kills from the Pak 38 there. Really, really good. I was actually going to try and get up the 221s, but I wasn't entirely sure if there was any infantry here or not. So I'm waiting for my infantry to actually arrive before I do anything funky. Right, meanwhile, in the middle, an M4A1 is approaching Betz. And he's now taking full cover in this compound. MG42 is actually going to open up onto the armoured rifles in the field to the right, but the Pak 38 is going to destroy the Sherman on the left, and Betz was quite thankful for that. So here comes my infantry. I'm going to be dropping out these Panzergrenadiers to try and force my way through these trees. I'm also dropping off a couple of squads on the right side, just to try and cover off against the advance of territory on this side, which is going to eventually bring us a few percent ahead. Stug 3 is going to help pin down these armoured rifles until my Panzergrenadiers get into cover. I'm going to start to move that round because I really want to actually get rid of this half-track, because that's definitely doing a lot of damage there. And meanwhile in the centre, big heavy infantry engagement going on. Betz is trying to move forwards his MG42 to get it into range to start pinning down these RGR leaders, RGR assault and RGR support. So they're just rangers, ranger support and ranger assault and so on. And well, the ranger assaults, they're pretty cool. They have a 100-meter range flamethrower. The RGR support, they have 2 of these Browning M1919A6s. They're basically just 30 cals. But yeah, they're well equipped, and especially with an RGR leader there, I believe the RGR supports can actually have 3-star veterans here, which is pretty hard to deal with. By the way, my infantry engagement starting on the right side, Panzergrenadiers versus armoured rifles, and I'm trying to get this Pak 38 to finish off the M3 half-track there. MG42 is trying to pin down these armoured rifles, and my Stostrup on the right are now being pinned down by an enemy half-track. But what I should be doing at this point is moving these 221s over to the right side to take care of these M3HTs, but I was very wary of this AT gun right here shooting through this gap. So for example, if I was to move my 221s all the way over to the right side, it could definitely fire through this gap towards my 221s. Bringing up a mortar now though. Just going to try and do some counter artillery onto the enemy. Because their mortar is currently pinning down both my pack and my MG42. It's a bit of an issue. I'm going to have to basically fall both of those back. I do not want to lose them. And, well, furthermore, my infantry is now being destroyed by these armoured rifles. In the centre, Bet's not doing particularly great. He is managing to keep the Ranger assault units pinned down. And now this MG42 is doing work on the RGR leader, or the range leader, sorry. He's brought up some reinforcing infantry, and that should definitely help him out. Over on this right side, bringing over the 221s again. Having seen this AT move to the left, that means I can happily move my 221s to the right. P-38 Lightning going to come in for a strafing run. Those P-38s were having a field day in Phase A because I don't believe I had any AA at all. Although actually in the new update, the new patch that they've added to this beta, well, they actually buffed AA. So you'll see that come into effect later in the game. Also in this deck we do actually have the Jumbo Killer, which is what I'm going to coin it from now on, and which is basically an AT gun. I think it's pack 43. It has 22 AP power, which is actually good enough to penetrate the Jumbo at max range, so that's definitely something to look out for, and we will be bringing those in later in the game. But either way, it is going to continue with ourselves as a +1 lead, 52% lead. My artillery mortars here are going to be starting to pin down this 57mm AT gun. My own Pack 38 here is trying to open up onto the enemy half track and also trying to take out the M4A1 over on this left side. Fortunately the mortar does do the job in time. Brought up an MG42, also brought up some Stoßtrupp and some more Panzergrenadiers. Now they're going to all be pushing forwards on this right side here, trying to get towards the mortar back there. Bringing in the Ju-87, that's going to be going for a bombing strike onto the enemy mortar. Unfortunately, going to get wrecked by the P-38 Lightnings. P-38 Lightnings definitely very, very quick. And they've actually increased the speed of aircraft, especially fighters in this update. I believe fighters, especially the P-38s, actually go 650 kilometers per hour now. Is about 300 kilometers per hour faster than they did before. It means they do move along across the sky much more rapid than you would have seen before. Now my 221s moving across to the right side, trying to take care of the M3A1. Probably should have stopped them so they had better accuracy, but I don't think I was paying too much attention on this right side as I was focusing more on this infantry engagement that was going on down here. Stoßtrupp being overrun by these armoured rifles, so trying to get my MG42 in position to try and pin them down as well. I'm going to use the smoke grenade from these Stoßtrupp over the road to try and get these Panzergrenadiers across, but they're going to get hit by the enemy mortars, so that wasn't too good either. And yes, these Stoßtrupp do have smoke grenades, which is quite something. ME-109 does actually manage to come in and finish off the mortar there, which was good. But yeah, smoke grenades, really, really awesome. Definitely provides a lot of strategic opportunity. You could probably definitely micro them so that they can make like themselves a smoke wall and push forwards really far to like take out a tank or something. And I have seen Val do that with the Stoßtrupp. He did micro them effectively enough that he could use the smoke to flank like a tank. But they are very micro-intensive troops, and they only have like 5-man squads, which does definitely let them down. By the way, another ME-109 going to be coming in to provide a rocking strike. I actually didn't have the target I needed. So I decided to turn the ME-109 to the right and use the rockets on that AT gun just to take it out and allow my 221s possibly to move over to the right side to take care of the M3A1 half track, which I'm currently trying to pin down with the 81mm mortar. But of course, as soon as I try and attack anything with the mortar, I'm going to get counter-batteried. They have more mortars than I do, so it's always going to be more effective at this current stage in the game. My PaK-38 is trying to fire down the road, and I now have 3 of these 221s firing down the road as well, trying to get shots onto the half track. Meanwhile, over on the left side, Val's holding his ground quite nicely. He's created quite a bulge on this left side, managed to get some infantry quite far up, and Betts is still, well, not having a great time in the centre, but definitely holding his ground, not letting him be collapsed upon entirely. Now my 221s were pushed forwards here. I was trying to get them in range to attack some of the APCs and possibly the Scott. But as you can see, the AT gun does get onto target here and cause all of my 221s basically to fall back. Going to be moving over these Sturm Pioneers now. They're going to be hopefully taking on the armoured rifles after this Panzergrenadier squad was pretty much deleted. Over on the right side, the M3A1 pretty much still going on a rampage. Haven't brought the 221s back over there just yet. A little bit of a mistake on my part. Definitely should have done that a lot sooner. But just trying to look here for any newer units. Well, you see the Nebelwerfers coming out, and these are obviously rocket artillery. For those of you who are World War II enthusiasts, you'll know about the Nebelwerfer. 6 tube rocket artillery, require reloading every time. Definitely do a lot of damage, and that's what's caused all of this fire back here. Meanwhile, on the right side, a Mustang does come in, actually strafe and destroy my pack, which was really, really frustrating. And there goes the Nebelwerfer in the centre there, going to actually stun these rifles and do a lot of damage to them with that strike. Enemy Mustang here is going to get on the tail of Val's FW-190, and that 190 is going to go down, unfortunately. Actually, I'm not sure if it did actually go down. It might have just got out alive. By the way, bringing up some recon now. This SPW-233 that can help me clean up some of the APCs and also provide me the recon I need, because currently these 221s aren't being too helpful. I just lost one to an enemy tank, and now I'm going to be losing the second one to the enemy infantry. Thunderbolt's going to be shooting down another FW-190. The enemy focusing just as much on air supremacy as we are at this point. In the centre, Betts has dropped off his reinforcements and is going to be pushing hard back against them. He's also now got 2 munition trucks coming up to resupply his Nebelwerfers. Yeah, over on the right, brought over the 233 now to help deal with the M3A1. Don't really stop it soon enough, and the M3A1 is able to get a lot of morale damage done to my 233. In the field, AMG-42 does manage to pin down the armoured rifles, but I don't really have anything that can actually capture them at this point, which was unfortunate. Otherwise I would have definitely tried to charge down that squad. Now we have the Jumbo getting very close to my 221. Going to be the last of the 221s as it does get its engine destroyed. I also lose my recon as they try and sneak between the armoured rifles and the Jumbo. My AA is going to be opening up on the M3HT, and as you can see, I do actually have 3 units of AA. This is more than I've had in probably any of my other videos, because I just found AA completely pointless before, but now it's actually very, very useful because it can deter and also just outright stun enemy aircraft before they even get close to your lines, which is fantastic. You can definitely do like an area of denial now in terms of AA and AAA. Over on the left, Val still holding strong. Got a line of this Stug 3 alongside two SPW221s. It's definitely something that a lot of us were using at the start of the game. Now we're going to be seeing Betts coming in with his Stug in the centre. I'm definitely struggling at this point on my right side. I have a Jumbo just driving forwards freely, and the only thing that I really have to kill it is the Stusstroop squad, which then gets absolutely annihilated by the Jumbo as well, which is really unfortunate because it's, yeah, like I say, it's the only AT that I have available, except from the Jumbo Killer. So this is the big old gun I was talking about. This is the Pak 43. It has an 88mm gun with 22 AP power. It's an absolute beast. You'd think they'd need more people to carry it than that, but either way, drop it off a bit early unfortunately, and I don't really have anything to come pick it up and move it fast enough, so I just decided to walk it the rest of the way. Yeah, just accidentally unloaded that. Really annoying when that happens. But the idea is just to get it onto one of these hedgerows so that it can fire down at anything coming through these trees. And then hopefully everything will be alright. By the way, bringing in some reinforcements here. You can see the extra AT guns, plenty of extra infantry, just to sort of bolster this front line and hold long enough until I can actually bring in some more substantial AT options. Over on the right side, this 233, still trying to kill off the M3A1. Definitely took its sweet time. In the centre, well, these Panzergrenadiers obviously going to get ripped to shreds by the Jumbo and the M8 Scott and the M3A1. And when they tried to fall back, well, it's not going to really end too well. Finally managed to destroy the M3A1 on the right side. Just trying to recover the centre. My 81mm rocket gets spotted and destroyed instantly. Basically any infantry squad that comes up against all of this fire support is going to die very, very quickly. So, Betts' FW190 going to get onto target here. Try and shoot down the Thunderbolt. And really good job by my team there to secure air supremacy. My Sturm Pioneer were destroyed, and well, my Panzergrenadiers nearly went down too. I've now just unloaded all of these Stoßtrupp. One of them's going to be throwing his smoke grenade just to cover their advance. And the idea here is just to get these Stoßtrupp into a position where they can actually take on the Jumbo, the M8 Scott, and so on. I actually bring up my SPW233 here. Bit of a mistake on my part. I really wanted that for the right side, but it fast moved up this road. So put it straight in the path of the M5A1, as well as the other infantry squads and so on. So that was a bit of a problem. Either way, as you can see, our AT guns opening up. We have the Pak 40 here that is now opening up on the M5A1 on the left. And this Pak 43 actually destroyed Narma's rifles on the right side. Really, really good job there. Now we just got to take care of this Jumbo. And, well, Betts' Stug is going to be moving up. He also has another Stug coming up this road. He's going to be trying to engage the Jumbo with the Stug. But as the Jumbo moves back from this tree line, well, it actually gets hit by my Pak 40. The Pak 40 takes care of the rest. So, another rocket strike onto my AT. Another thing that's not as effective in this patch is rocket strikes against AT. They're not always guaranteed to hit. I think they're 20% less effective than they used to be. Now this Pak 43 opening up onto the armoured rifles there. That's absolutely fine as long as they don't start arting my AT because of it. Enemy Stug does, or friendly Stug does take out the M8 Scott. And now Betts is going to be using his Stoßtrupp and Stug to take out enemies over there as well. We haven't really been able to see That's his Nobelwerfers in action very much, but basically he was using them to, well, you could say Buratino the enemy, because it is very similar to a Buratino. So phase C is here, and as you can see, bringing up even more reinforcements. Actually, 2 more AA, this time with 2-star veterancy, and also off-map artillery. Because I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to push back against all this, but I am just going to bring in a bunch of guys to try and do so anyway. So more Stostrup being destroyed as they try and push forwards. These mortars really doing a lot of damage. Big issue throughout the game. I didn't really have anything too substantial to try and get rid of them, other than the airplanes and so on. But now Betts' Stug is in play, so he can use that to fire at the mortar there. Hopefully destroy it for me. Over on this right side, we have managed to recover that. Just a Panzergrenadier squad sitting there at the moment though. Trying to get this Pak 40 over to the right side. Unfortunately, my Pak 43 is going to get hit pretty hard in the centre. It would be great if we could like shoot down one of these planes with AA now. I don't think AA is that strong. It's definitely strong enough to like stun a plane or force a plane to fall back before it drops its payload. I think that's fair enough. So the FW-190 is there again, getting another 2 kills. That's really racking up the points in this one. He's now also brought over his Stug 4s to the right side, and he's trying to pin down this 57mm gun. And on the far right, well, these army rifles didn't last very long either. I kind of misplayed early on. Probably should have used my AT half-tracks or like armoured cars to do more damage to the enemy half-tracks. But it was very difficult. They did have a lot of like AA cover and so on, which definitely affected me. Now P-38 Lightning coming in. I managed to get away with its strike, and well, I'm not sure if the explosion from that Opel Blitz actually destroyed the mortar, but it definitely blew up itself thanks to Betts' Ju-87. But now the AT gun here going to be destroying one of those. But it's definitely left me a lot of room to breathe so that I can push forwards the Stostrup, and I now also have the off-map artillery at my back. The ME-109 going to be dropping the rocket pods onto that AT. The AT actually manages to destroy one more of Betts' Stugs just before it dies. The Pak 40 on the right manages to finish off the M5A1, which was wonderful. Now I'm going to be moving the Stug 4 over to the right side to try and make that push happen. Yeah, with basically a command unit next to it, these AA can actually get 3 stars and be incredibly accurate against enemy planes. And like I was saying before, enemy planes are actually much easier to stun thanks to the well, not necessarily thanks to the upvetting, but just because AA is much more effective now. So at the moment, just sort of chilling, trying to get my troops into position to try and make push forwards. Going to be bringing in another artillery strike to try and make that happen. Move my Stug over to the right to try and push up here eventually. In the middle, Bet's doing a fantastic job. Going to be opening up again with the Nobelwerfers. See them fire away all of those rockets. And going to be doing an absolute ton of damage to enemy infantry and also vehicles in the area. These FW-190s really doing a lot of favours for Betts. He's hurt 47 Thunderbolt, going to be coming into the back of one of them, and unfortunately one is going to be shot down. Let's see if he can get the second. He cannot, as it does evacuate. Now going to be flying over friendly territory. Going to be forced to pull back thanks to my AA. So here comes that artillery that I was waiting on. And that was meant to be a cue for me to sort of attack, but when I noticed that he was still trying to send infantry towards me, I'm going to start to try and charge him down. I want to get my flamethrowers in range, of course, and my sausage troop only have close range ammunition anyway, or munitions. They have a PPSH and an MP40, so they need to be close ranged in order to actually do something. We managed to make those armoured rifles surrender thanks to the artillery, and now I'm basically going to try and fall back because another jumbo has arrived. Fun. So now I'm also trying to get my Stosstroop over to the right side in case they try and come down the road. But as long as we sort of are creating these bulges in the enemy lines, we're always going to get a lead. So we're still at the 53% lead that we need at this point. Val really holding his own on the left side here, not being put off too much by artillery by the looks of things. And well, he does have his own battery of Nurembergwerfers now, so what can go wrong? In the centre, Betz was loving his Nurembergwerfers, doing absolutely tons of damage to the enemy infantry and tanks. And here goes Val's strike over on this side. There's a reason they call this the World War II Buratino, because, well, it definitely looks like one. Well, there goes an AT gun in the centre. Thanks to Val's Nurembergwerfer 42. These Nurembergwerfer 41s, however, they're going to be firing into all of this infantry. And, well, look at it all clumped up there. Goodbye to all of that. Actually really disgusting. That was like 3 units of infantry and a machine gun squad. He managed to arty all of them. Now, Betz's Stug needs to get the shot off onto the Rhino. Rhino does have 12 front armor, so going to be a little more harder to kill, but as it takes a shot in the arse, well, not much you can do about that. And well, Smaller Blue actually surrenders. Another kill there for Betz's Stug as he takes out a Wolverine. And now on this right side, well, I am going to be pushed again. 2 jumbos now heading my way, and not really much adequate AT. I do have the Pack 40 here. I'm also bringing up, well, I've got another Pack 40 that's actually on the road. I'm also bringing up some more of the Pack 43s. The JU-87 going to get hit pretty hard. Now my Pack 43 is in position. Shouldn't really have both the AT guns on top of each other right there, but I am going to be starting to move one to the left side. And the Pack 43, it can take its place because Pack 43, I can fire down the road and just one-shot anything, especially with like 3-star veterancy. We definitely want that to have like a line of sight as much as possible down this road, and as you can see, that's exactly what I'm going for there. Meanwhile on this left side, well, Stern Pioneer, I'm actually going to run them forward so they can get into the 100-meter range they need in order to use their flamethrowers. Now this works a lot better in like close combat, especially like in towns and so on when the buildings aren't so close together. The Stern Pioneer are actually really useful, but in the open like this, where you don't always engage at like minimum range, Stern Pioneers, and especially like the Stoßtruppen, like they're just incredibly hard to use because like the enemies have machine guns in their AT or in their infantry squads, and if you don't, you basically get pinned down before you can even get close. But here goes another artillery strike because they are going to be moving towards me with the M4A376 and also the 2 jumbos. I'm trying to get all of my units into position, possibly to ambush if I have to. Over on the left side, well, it's a party as all of the Air Force comes in. Enemy Thunderbolts are going to be flying away there. And now, well, Val's FW-190 is going to have a field day. One P-38 Lightning going to be going down. They're going to be taking out one of these P-38 Lightnings as well. Actually, Betts managed to get the one on the left. The other two managed to get away. So, Betts racking up those air kills, that's for sure. And, well, now there's another P-47 Thunderbolt coming in after they've evac'd. Another one of my units was destroyed, unfortunately. Just need this Pack 43 to wipe out the M3A1 for me, and boom goes that. Over on the right side, still pushing forwards with my Stug. Should really get the Strub to move ahead of them. But sort of decided to slowly move forwards. My Stug 4 and the SD-KFZ on the right. See how much ground we can actually make and maybe push this to a +2 lead to make this run a bit faster, because I wasn't having the best game at all at this point. My AT guns really started to come into play though, as you can see. Boom. 22 AP power there. The Pack 43 is going to destroy one of these Shermans. This was the M4A376. As soon as these like AT guns actually open up, well, they are going to get mortared. Very, very frustrating. Here goes Betts' Nobelwerfers again. Goodbye to any infantry that was there. These Sturm Pioneers, well, they should probably remain hidden as best they can, but not this time round. They are going to be wiped off the face of the earth. So now it's the Panzergrenadiers engaging the armoured LMG rifles. Panzergrenadiers definitely taking a lot of damage, but doing a lot of morale damage in return. Enemy APCs trying to sneak left. Yeah, now I have like 2 Panzergrenadier squads engaging 1 armoured rifles. And that should be able to keep them pinned down enough so that I can maybe run them over at some point. Enemy air has come in. I'm well prepared, as you can see. I'm not really going to get close to doing anything. I don't know if they're trying to scare me with rocket planes, but either way, it didn't matter at this point. We're at 54%. There's 5 minutes and 28 seconds until total victory for our team. Bringing up the Stug crew here. And I still have the Jumbo Killer available. Well, both of them. One's in this tree line, one's sat here. So this one, obviously, like I said, to cover the road. And then this one sort of to cover the left flank. But I am going to start to push the left flank now with my Stug 4s, as I do want to try and take care of these M4A1s that they're pushing quite hard towards the centre. So, managed to take out the M3HT, I guess, and I'm sure the arm rifles will be soon to follow. Incoming bomber from Betts, going to be dropping a bunch of bombs onto that AT weapon and so on. A successful bombing strike. Didn't take any damage or anything, and managed to drop its payload pretty much on its target. So the ARM LMG rifles are dead. God for that. And now we're just going to have to focus on the Jumbo and the M4A1. So made the mailed out. It was fantastic, because now I can prepare to turn and face the Jumbo. Oh, unless my Stugs get destroyed. These Shermans and the Sherman Jumbos, they do actually have like a really fast fire rate and fire acquisition, because they have turning turrets, whereas like obviously the Stugs self-propelled, so it has to turn the entire body of the tank in order to get on target, and that definitely does make it easier for the enemy tanks to destroy them. By the way, another one of my AA does go down there, but I've made quite a lot of ground on this right side using both the SPW222s and the Stugs, because the SPW222s actually have the HE rounds, which are incredibly useful. Over on the left, just encircling some rifles leader, which is great. We're now taking them to a +2 lead. I'm going to try and finish the game in 3 minutes if we can. Took out one of the command M4A1s in the center with my Stug 4. I'm going to be able to take out the second. This 22mm, or the 22 AP pack really started to do work. So now falling back the scouts. Really wanted to try and kill them off. Maybe the last shot will do it. Yes, it will. Okay, so there goes their eyes and ears, hopefully. And now the idea is to push on towards the command M4A1 and basically this Calliope, because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Playing against 3rd Armoured on my side anyway. Oh, there goes the M4A1 command, thanks to the JU-87G. I guess I'll just continue to push on. Took out that enemy armor car. Now I'm going to be trying to take out the enemy tank that's just here. So I really need to take out that tank, and take it out I do. I'm going to be making a ton of ground on the right flank because of that. In the center, still struggling with these jumbos. And again, getting a bounce off the Stug 4. I keep stunning it and they're not really following up. I'm going to be bringing in the ME-109 there just to sort of stun and panic these jumbos. And what I'm going to try and do is get the PaK-40 to try and kill them alongside the Stugs. Because the best thing to do about like jumbos especially, make sure they're panicked, and then just charge them. Like, that's literally all you have to do. Or, the other way to deal with jumbos is of course the Jumbo Killer, which is an absolutely beast of a gun. Even has 8 strength, which is actually very strong. Is that generally it can't be one passed by enemy AT. More like enemy airplanes that can hit ground targets, that's what I meant. Right, there's a jumbo there, that's going to get hit by all of Betts' Nebelwerfers. And where I got to the point where, hey, fuel explosion, thanks to Betts' PaK-43. And just like that, with the last jumbo going down, that is victory after 39 minutes and 37 seconds. We reached the victory limit. And let's just have a look at the team kills. So, we all ended positive on our team. Some did much better than others. I didn't do particularly well on my right side. I was still getting accustomed to that deck. I didn't particularly enjoy it at the time, but I've made a lot of tweaks since then. So there's Val there, 3,779 kills with 1,840 losses, and Betts did even better with 4,974 kills. That was really good. I'm going to jump to the kills tab quickly just to see what happened. So this PaK-38 definitely did work on a lot of the armoured vehicles that the Americans had, and I think that's very important to do if you're playing any infantry deck whatsoever, really. Is bring enough AT to counter their half-tracks and their tanks, because otherwise you're going to be screwed. By the way, the SPW221s did manage to take out a couple of M3 HTs, which was good. ME-109 is going to be taking out the 57mm guns and the 60mm mortars. Oh, another PaK-40 got a jumbo kill. And Doug managing to get a few kills there as well. In terms of losses, well, we lost a lot to this jumbo. Really did a lot of damage. Either way, that's all for now, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.